Ladies and gentlemen, do I have an interesting one for you? Once again today we are going in and looking at some leaks regarding the next Call of Duty game, Call of Duty 2024, aka Black Ops Gulf War. We have more leaks today, but this time specifically revolving around the campaign and what is going on with that. There's essentially two different things that we found out over the past couple of days, one of which is a voice actor who's going to be playing the main character in the game, as well as the fact that it appears as though Call of Duty 2024 or Black Ops Gulf War is going to be an open world campaign. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking of open combat missions from Modern Warfare 3. Apparently, that is not the case whatsoever. So that is what we are going to start out with. There's an article that we're going to go through very, very quickly. And then I'm going to give you my opinions on this because it might not be the opinion that you're thinking about an open world Call of Duty game. And then towards the end of the video, we're going to look at that voice actor who is apparently voicing the lead for Black Ops Gulf War. So without further ado, let's dive into it. All right, so here's the article. It is from Charlie Intel, and the title is COD 2024 Leak Reveals Open World Campaign Developed by Raven Software. So immediately that is weird because what we thought was going on with this is that the campaign was actually going to be developed by Treyarch, but based off of these leaks, it doesn't appear that that is the case. I'm just going to go down here because we already know all of this. The project, which is expected to be developed by Treyarch, will reportedly be titled Black Ops Gulf War and mark the return of Outbreak zombies with an early access period. Little is known about COD 2024's multiplayer, but now a fresh report from Insider Gaming may shed some light on the campaign. According to the leak from Tom Henderson, Black Ops Gulf War will feature an open world campaign, giving players a wide open space to explore, more akin to that of Far Cry than the usual linear missions. Modern Warfare 3 experimented with their concept in its open combat mission, but it appears that COD 2024 will take things a step further. So after reading a little bit further into this, it appears as though this is nothing like open combat missions. This is an open world game that is going to feature fast traveling and vehicles to work your way around the map. I'm assuming there's going to be POIs that you have to go take over and that'll unlock a fast travel point. But then they also said in this article that there are still going to be your normal linear Call of Duty missions. So I'm guessing it kind of works like this. You go in, you're in a vast open area somewhere in the Gulf because it's Gulf War. So you'll be over there and there's going to be several points that you have to take to unlock fast travel points. When you get to those points, you're going to be introduced to various different characters. One that they go in depth with in this article is that Russell Adler is going to be making a return. We'll come back to that in a minute. And then when you talk to them, it throws you into a more linear style mission like we come to expect with Call of Duty games. And then you work your way through the map, you unlock various different things, and that is kind of what we're looking at. Now, the question is this a good thing? I don't really know, but it is certainly different. Having fast travel, having vehicles to get around the map, it sounds a lot more like Far Cry. It also lends to the question, how long is this campaign actually going to be? And also, will it support DLC content in the campaign? Because if they have an open world, it'll be a lot easier for them to throw in missions after the fact, whether that be every single season. It adds a new mission, it adds more to the story. It's actually very, very doable. Now, let's go back to the article. This next part just talks about the fast travel, the vehicles, what we just talked about. It says this: story details remain sparse at the moment, but Russell Adler, the antagonist from the 2020s Black Ops Cold War, first of all, he was the protagonist, not the antagonist, but anyway, semantics, is set to play a role in the campaign, possibly on our team if leaks are to be believed. So Russell Adler is going to kind of retain his role as your CIA asset, which we can kind of extrapolate from that. I would guess that we're going to see Frank Woods, maybe Alex Mason in there as well. However, technically, we don't know when this game is taking place, so we could see some other things as well. Now, here's where things get weird. While Treyarch is expected to handle the multiplayer and zombies component of COD 2024, Insider Gaming claimed that Raven Software are handling the campaign this time around, following their work on Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone. Also, that the game is expected to launch in October instead of early November. Now, that last one is very difficult to believe because Raven has been working on Warzone all this year, and now apparently they are making the campaign. It doesn't really line up. Now, I could see it kind of being a cross thing with maybe Treyarch writing the game and then Raven helping bringing it to fruition. Also, Raven would definitely have more experience with these open world ideas as they have been working on Warzone and things along those lines. Keep in mind that this could also play into the idea of DMZ as well if you are going into the campaign campaign and collecting loot as you go through. Imagine collecting loot and leveling up your weapons and then going through the various different campaign missions. I actually think this could be a pretty cool thing. Now, if these are like open combat missions in Modern Warfare 3, no thank you, nobody liked those. However, if they're doing something more Far Cry-y or that classic open world style game, I think Call of Duty could fit into here really well. I was actually hanging out with a friend the other day, and we were actually talking about exactly this. After the survival game from Blizzard got canceled, it led to the question, why hasn't Call of Duty done more to change up? Call of Duty is a massive franchise, and every single year, they essentially release the same game with a new skins and a couple more bells and whistles. If they were to take that Call of Duty IP and do something completely different with it, like make a survival game, or back in the day, this was years and years ago, there was a rumor that they were making an MMO game based around Call of Duty, and Blizzard having the specialty with World of Warcraft, it would make a lot of sense to bring that specialty into a Call of Duty setting. Imagine an MMO first-person shooter that had PvP and PvE on a giant map. You're fighting a world war, and based off of the country that you choose at the beginning, you start in a different place around the world, and you can kind of move throughout the world completing various different missions. That would be an unreal Call of Duty game, but they are so stuck in what they do because it makes them so much money every year that we really don't get to see what a different iteration of Call of Duty could be, what a game that is not just an arcade shooter could actually be. And I doubt we will ever get that, but this open world Call of Duty game could be a push in the direction of something new. And we kind of saw them with Black Ops Cold War try to these new style missions, a mission where you talked your way through it, missions where it wasn't just guns a-blazing the whole time shooting down from an AC-130. So all in all, I actually think that this is a pretty cool concept. It's just how it's going to be brought forward. In my opinion, Treyarch makes the best story for Call of Duty games. So if they implement that into an open world, there's Easter eggs, extra intel to be found. This could be amazing for the story of Call of Duty. But again, it has to be done well. And apparently, Raven's the one working on it. So there was one other thing that we found out this week. So essentially we got an update as to who the main character is going to be played by within Black Ops Gulf War. It's an actor by the name of Michael Silberblatt. I might be saying his name wrong, who is most recently in Hawkeye. And this is the person that we are looking at here. Now, what this tells me is that since this is an open world game and we have a actor who is voicing the main lead of the game, who I would assuming we are probably going to be playing, we are going to have a voiced protagonist in this game. Whereas in previous games, oftentimes our characters were silent, like we saw with Bell in Black Ops Cold War. It was the other characters around us who told the story. But I'm guessing within this, if it's an open world game, there's going to be people we can interact with, have conversations with, which we've never really seen in an open world format in a Call of Duty game. Yes, there was games where you could go and talk to people, and we saw that within the KGB mission of Black Ops Cold War, and it appears as though they're going to be expanding on this. There's going to be voice options, I would assume. And it's interesting. This is brand new for Call of Duty, something we have never, ever seen before. But that's what the leaks are, and that's supposedly what is coming. So I think this is exciting for Call of Duty. I think this adds a lot more options into the story of the game, more story videos for me to dive into. I'm excited for this. But again, it has to be done right. And with their experience in DMZ, if they're planning on making this more of a looter shooter, I could see them doing that. If they are just planning on making this an open world game, I could see that happening as well with loadouts and things like that, voice conversations. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be new. It's going to be different. And I'm all for change. If they have a good idea and it's well executed, this could definitely work. Call of Duty doesn't have to be a linear first-person shooter and an arcade shooter every single year. If they take risks and they do it well, I'll be happy. Even if it's horrible, but they gave it their best shot, at least it's something new. I really do think at today's day and age, Call of Duty needs more innovation to stay popular year after year. At least that's my opinion. If you disagree, let me know what you think down in the comments. This is the information that we know for now. Looking like an open world Call of Duty for the first time ever this year. So stay tuned. When we get more information, I'll keep you updated. But until then, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, peace.
We are reaching for the stars.